Legal setback for Sean Diddy Combs, bail denied after jury conviction on prostitution charges. On July 2, 2025, Sean Diddy Combs faced a significant legal setback when a federal court ruled against his request for bail following a jury's mixed verdict on serious criminal charges. This ruling marks a pivotal moment in a legal saga that began with his arrest in September 2024 and has since captivated public attention due to its implications for both Combs and the broader MeToo movement. Timeline of events. 1. September 2024, Sean Combs was arrested on multiple charges including sex trafficking and racketeering. 2. July 2, 2025, after approximately 13 hours of jury deliberations, Combs was acquitted of serious charges but convicted on 2 counts related to the transportation of individuals for prostitution under the Mann Act. 3. Post-verdict reaction. Following the verdict, Combs dropped to his knees in prayer, expressing relief at being cleared of the more severe charges. Legal outcomes and implications. Combs was acquitted of 3 significant charges, namely racketeering, conspiracy, and sex trafficking, but was found guilty of 2 felony counts related to prostitution which carry a maximum sentence of 10 years. His defense team sought bail pending sentencing, arguing that the acquittals changed the legal landscape, yet the judge denied this request, citing concerns over Combs' potential flight risk and his violent history. Judge Arun Subramanian emphasized the seriousness of the remaining charges and noted Combs' violent past, particularly in his relationships. This decision was met with disappointment by Combs and his family, who had hoped for a release as they awaited sentencing. Charges and acquittals. Out of 5 charges against him, Combs faced serious allegations concerning sex trafficking and racketeering. The jury found that the prosecution had not met the burden of proof necessary for these claims, particularly regarding coercion and fraud. Legal analysts noted that the distinction between the lesser charges and the more severe allegations was crucial. The jury's inability to find evidence of coercion resulted in Combs' partial acquittal. Testimonies and evidence presented. The trial featured harrowing testimonies from former partners, including Cassandra Ventura, known as Cassie, who detailed experiences of coercion and violence during her relationship with Combs. Evidence presented included distressing video footage of Combs assaulting Cassie and numerous messages exchanged with women involved in these encounters. Despite this compelling evidence, the jury ultimately found the prosecution's case lacking in the context of the more serious charges, which required a higher standard of proof. Impact on the MeToo movement. Combs' partial acquittal has been perceived as a setback for the MeToo movement, highlighting the ongoing challenges victims face in securing justice in cases of sexual misconduct. Activists have pointed to the difficulties in proving coercion and trafficking despite the prevalence of testimony and evidence suggesting abuse. The mixed verdict underscores the complexities surrounding consent and agency within the context of intimate relationships marked by power dynamics. Current status and future implications. As of now, Combs remains in custody awaiting sentencing with no date set yet. His legal battles are far from over, with ongoing discussions regarding potential appeals and civil lawsuits from other alleged victims. Legal experts suggest that while he faces a maximum of 10 years for the prostitution-related charges, his time already served and the conditions of his detention may lead to a significantly shorter sentence. Conclusion. Sean Diddy Combs' legal troubles reflect broader societal issues regarding accountability and justice in cases of sexual misconduct. His upcoming sentencing will further determine the consequences he faces for his convictions and may set precedents affecting future cases within the entertainment industry and beyond. As the legal proceedings continue, the implications of this trial will resonate within the ongoing discourse surrounding the MeToo movement and the complexities of sexual violence and consent. Sean Diddy Combs has encountered significant legal troubles recently, culminating in a federal court ruling on July 2, 2025, following a mixed verdict from a jury. Combs was acquitted of serious sex trafficking and racketeering charges but was convicted on 2 counts related to the transportation for prostitution under the Mann Act. This law prohibits the transportation of individuals across state lines for immoral purposes, particularly engaging in prostitution. Timeline of events: September 2024, Combs was arrested on multiple charges including sex trafficking and racketeering. July 2, 2025, the jury delivered a mixed verdict after approximately 13 hours of deliberation, acquitting him of the most severe charges but convicting him on 2 counts of prostitution-related offenses. Post-verdict, Combs dropped to his knees in prayer after hearing the jury's decision and expressed relief at being cleared of the more serious charges. His family showed support outside the courtroom. Legal outcome: Combs was convicted of 2 felony counts under the Mann Act, which carries a potential maximum sentence of 10 years. However, legal experts suggest he may serve a shorter time due to time already served and the conditions in which he has been held. His defense argued he should be released on bail pending sentencing, but the judge denied this request, citing concerns over his potential flight risk and violent history. Charges and acquittals: Combs faced 5 charges, of which he was acquitted on 3 significant counts, namely racketeering, conspiracy, and sex trafficking. The jury determined that the prosecution did not meet the burden of proving coercion or fraud necessary for those charges, a point emphasized by legal analysts. Testimonies and evidence: Testimonies from 2 former partners, including singer Cassandra Ventura, known as Cassie, depicted disturbing scenarios involving coercion and violence during sexual encounters orchestrated by Combs. The prosecution presented evidence including footage of Combs assaulting Cassie and messages exchanged with the women. But it ultimately failed to convince the jury of the more severe charges. Impact on the MeToo movement: Combs' partial acquittal has been viewed as a setback for the MeToo movement. Despite the evidence presented, the jury's decision highlighted the challenges victims face in proving coercion and trafficking, as noted in various reports. Current status: Combs remains in custody and awaits sentencing with no date set yet. Discussions surrounding appeals and ongoing civil suits from other alleged victims are anticipated. Counterintuitive information: 1. Acquittal on serious charges versus conviction on lesser charges. It may seem counterintuitive that Combs was acquitted of the more severe charges such as sex trafficking, which could have resulted in life imprisonment, while still being convicted of lesser offenses related to prostitution. This outcome underscores the complexities of legal definitions and the burden of proof required in sexual misconduct cases. 2. The role of celebrity status. Combs' celebrity status, which might typically afford advantages in the court of public opinion, seems to have had a nuanced impact during the trial. While it provided him access to top-tier legal representation, the high-profile nature of the case may have influenced jurors' perceptions in ways that are not entirely predictable. 3. Judicial perspective on bail. The judge denied bail despite Combs being acquitted of the more serious charges. This decision reflects a judicial concern for public safety and the potential for flight risk rather than a straightforward assessment of the severity of the convictions. It highlights a dissonance between the legal outcomes and the perceived threat posed by Combs, as articulated by the judge's remarks regarding his violent history. For public reaction versus legal reality, the mixed verdict has generated varied public reactions, with some viewing it as a partial victory for justice while others see it as a failure to hold Combs fully accountable. This divergence illustrates how societal expectations of justice can clash with the realities of courtroom proceedings and evidentiary standards. 5. Sentencing predictions. Legal experts predict that Combs may receive a sentence significantly shorter than the maximum possible, suggesting that even serious convictions under the Mann Act could lead to lenient sentences. This reflects an often counterintuitive aspect of the legal system, where actual sentencing can diverge from the perceived severity of the crime. Overall, Sean Diddy Combs' legal battles reveal the intricacies of the legal system, public perception, and the ongoing struggles surrounding issues of sexual misconduct and accountability. In the recent legal proceedings involving Sean Diddy Combs, several significant elements may easily be overlooked by the general public but hold substantial implications for both individual lives and broader societal trends. Here are the crucial details and their significance. 1. Mixed verdict nuance. While the jury acquitted Combs of severe charges such as sex trafficking and racketeering, which could have resulted in life imprisonment, they nonetheless convicted him on 2 counts related to the Mann Act concerning the transportation of individuals for prostitution. This mixed verdict is significant because it reflects the jury's struggle with the complexities of coercion and consent, a fundamental issue in many sexual misconduct cases. The acquittal on serious charges indicates a potential gap in the prosecution's ability to establish coercion, which could weaken future cases of similar nature. 2. Mann Act implications. The Mann Act's focus on the transportation of individuals for immoral purposes ties into larger issues of sexual exploitation and trafficking. Combs' conviction under this law signifies a legal acknowledgement of the seriousness of prostitution-related offenses even if they do not encompass trafficking or racketeering. This distinction is crucial for understanding the law's application, as it underscores the ongoing struggle to delineate between voluntary participation and coercion in sexual encounters, especially within the realm of power dynamics present in celebrity culture. 3. Impact on the MeToo movement. Many reports highlight the trial's implications for the MeToo movement, noting that Combs' partial acquittal could be seen as a setback. The case illustrates the ongoing challenges victims face in proving their stories within the legal system. High-profile cases often serve as barometers for societal progress regarding sexual misconduct. The jury's decision, despite compelling evidence, speaks to the difficulties in securing convictions for serious sexual crimes, suggesting that the legal system may still favor defendants, especially those with substantial resources and public support. 4. Role of testimonies. The testimonies from Combs' former partners, including Cassie Ventura, painted a disturbing picture of alleged abuse and coercion. The emotional weight of these testimonies and the evidence presented, including video footage of an assault, was not enough to secure a conviction on the more serious charges. This raises questions regarding the efficacy of evidence in court, particularly in cases involving intimate partner violence and sexual exploitation. The public often underestimates the power of testimony against a backdrop of legal technicalities that can overshadow personal experiences. 5. Judicial concerns over flight risk. The judge's denial of bail was influenced by concerns regarding Combs' potential flight risk and his history of violence, which may not be fully appreciated by the public. This aspect of the case highlights the judicial system's attempts to balance the rights of the accused with community safety. The judge's decision reflects a cautious approach, emphasizing that past behavior, particularly concerning violence, can weigh heavily in legal considerations regardless of the current charges. 6. Future legal and civil ramifications. Combs faces ongoing civil suits from other alleged victims, which could further complicate his legal landscape. The implications of these potential cases are significant, as they may provide additional avenues for accountability beyond the criminal convictions. This aspect is often overshadowed by the immediate focus on criminal charges, but civil suits can lead to different forms of justice and may influence public perception and his personal reputation moving forward. 7. Public perception and celebrity culture. Combs' public persona has been significantly tarnished by these allegations and convictions. However, the support he received from family and friends during the trial may reflect the complexities of celebrity culture, where public admiration can sometimes overshadow legal accountability. This dichotomy raises important questions about how society views celebrities, often grappling with the tension between admiration for their talents and the serious allegations they face. The trial's outcome may influence how future cases involving public figures are perceived and addressed by both the legal system and the public. Conclusion. The Sean Diddy Combs case encapsulates various societal issues. particularly regarding sexual misconduct, the efficacy of legal systems in addressing such allegations, and the ongoing challenges faced by victims seeking justice. The implications of the case extend beyond Combs himself, influencing public discourse on consent, power dynamics, and the complexities of the judicial process in cases involving high-profile individuals. Understanding these nuanced details is essential for grasping the broader social context and the evolving landscape of accountability in cases of sexual misconduct. 1. Legal outcome and implications. Sean Diddy Combs was convicted on 2 counts under the Mann Act, which prohibits the transportation of individuals across state lines for prostitution. While he avoided life sentences by being acquitted of more serious charges like sex trafficking and racketeering, he still faces a potential maximum of 10 years in prison. The judge's denial of bail, citing concerns about flight risk and Combs' violent history, emphasizes the ongoing legal challenges he faces. Legal experts suggest that due to time already served in prison conditions, he may receive a shorter sentence, further complicating the legal landscape and public perceptions of justice in high-profile cases. 2. Testimonies and evidence. The trial featured graphic testimonies from former partners, particularly Cassandra Ventura Cassie, who described abusive and coercive scenarios during their relationship. This included disturbing accounts of violence and sexual coercion, supported by video evidence of Combs assaulting Ventura. However, the jury acquitted him of sex trafficking and racketeering due to the prosecution's failure to prove coercion or fraud beyond a reasonable doubt. This reflects the challenges victims face in such cases and raises questions about the effectiveness of the legal system in addressing sexual misconduct. 3. Impact on the MeToo movement. Combs' partial acquittal has been perceived as a setback for the MeToo movement, highlighting the difficulties in proving coercion and trafficking in sexual abuse cases. Despite compelling evidence presented, the jury's decision underscores systemic issues that victims encounter when seeking justice. This case draws parallels to previous high-profile cases, indicating ongoing societal challenges in holding powerful figures accountable for sexual misconduct, which could potentially discourage other victims from coming forward. For public and cultural repercussions, the trial and its outcome have significantly affected Combs' public image and career, reflecting broader societal attitudes towards accountability in cases of sexual misconduct. The emotional responses from both Combs and his family, juxtaposed with the distress of the victims and their advocates, reveal the complex narratives surrounding celebrity culture in justice. As Combs awaits sentencing and faces potential civil suits from other alleged victims, the fallout from this case will likely continue to influence discussions on celebrity accountability and the legal treatment of sexual crimes in society. Here are 3 famous historical cases that share similarities with the legal situation faced by Sean Diddy Combs regarding sexual misconduct, coercion, and the complexities of legal outcomes. 1. Harvey Weinstein case, 2017 to 2020. Harvey Weinstein, the former Hollywood mogul, was a central figure in the MeToo movement after numerous allegations of sexual assault and harassment emerged against him. In 2017, allegations from many women detailed a pattern of predatory behavior, including coercion and abuse of power. Weinstein was arrested and faced multiple charges, including rape and sexual assault. In February 2020, he was convicted of rape and sexual assault in New York and sentenced to 23 years in prison. His trial highlighted the challenges victims face in seeking justice and the societal implications of power dynamics in sexual misconduct cases. Similar to Combs' case, the testimony of accusers played a crucial role, and the outcome was seen as a significant moment for the MeToo movement despite the complexities of the legal process. 2. R. Kelly case, 2019 to 2022. R&B singer R. Kelly faced numerous allegations of sexual misconduct, including charges of racketeering and violations of the Mann Act, which prohibits the transportation of individuals for illegal sexual activity. His trial began in 2021 and featured testimonies from multiple women who described coercion, manipulation, and abuse. Kelly was convicted on multiple counts in September 2021 and sentenced to 30 years in prison. The case drew significant media attention and underscored themes of accountability and the struggles of victims in the music industry. Similar to Sean Combs, Kelly's case involved allegations of using his status and influence to exploit vulnerable individuals, raising discussions about the responsibility of powerful figures in the entertainment industry. 3. Bill Cosby case 2005 to 2017. Bill Cosby, once a beloved comedian and actor, faced numerous allegations of sexual assault, primarily from women who claimed he drugged them before assaulting them. The case gained traction in the mid-2010s, leading to a high-profile criminal trial in 2017 that ended in a mistrial due to a deadlocked jury. In a retrial in 2018, Cosby was convicted of aggravated indecent assault and sentenced to 3 to 10 years in prison. His case mirrored the complexities of societal perceptions of powerful men and the difficulties victims face in the legal system. Cosby's conviction was seen as a landmark moment akin to the sentiments surrounding the outcomes of Combs' trial, highlighting the ongoing challenges of addressing sexual misconduct in powerful circles. These cases reflect broader societal issues regarding sexual misconduct, the legal system's handling of such allegations, and the impact on movements advocating for victims' rights and accountability. Sean Diddy Combs' recent legal challenges have created ripples in the entertainment industry and raised significant questions about accountability in cases of sexual misconduct. Following his conviction on 2 counts related to prostitution under the Mann Act, the implications for his future as well as the broader societal context warrant careful consideration. Legal and career outlook. 1. Sentencing predictions. Combs faces a maximum of 10 years in prison for each count under the Mann Act. However, legal experts suggest that he may receive a significantly shorter sentence, likely between 15 to 21 months, due to time already served and the harsh conditions of his current incarceration. The judge will take into account these factors, which may influence his final sentence. 2. Impact on career. Combs' conviction will likely hinder his professional endeavors in the music and entertainment industries. Once a celebrated figure with numerous accolades, his public image has been tarnished. The ongoing civil lawsuits from other alleged victims may further complicate his ability to rebuild his career as the fallout from these accusations continues to resonate. 3. Appeals process. An appeals process is anticipated, with Combs' legal team poised to challenge the conviction. The outcomes of these appeals will be critical in determining his immediate future and whether he can mitigate the impact of the conviction. Societal implications. 1. Effect on the MeToo movement. Combs' partial acquittal, particularly on the more serious charges of sex trafficking and racketeering, poses a challenge for the MeToo movement. The jury's decision underscores the difficulties victims face in proving coercion and trafficking, even when there is substantial evidence of abuse. This could have a chilling effect on future cases, as it highlights the challenges of legal accountability in sexual misconduct. 2. Public perception and advocacy. The trial has sparked conversations about the complexities of consent and victimhood. Many advocates emphasize the need for clearer legal definitions and protections for victims of sexual abuse to ensure that justice is served more effectively. The mixed verdict in Combs' case may galvanize activists to push for reform in how sexual crimes are prosecuted and understood within the legal system. 3. Cultural reflection. Combs' downfall mirrors larger societal shifts regarding power dynamics in the entertainment industry. His case serves as a reminder of the systemic issues that allow for abuse to flourish in environments characterized by fame and influence. The scrutiny surrounding such high-profile cases is likely to increase, prompting other figures in the industry to re-evaluate their practices and behaviors. Future predictions. 1. Continued legal battles, as Combs navigates his sentencing and potential appeals. The legal battles are expected to persist for the foreseeable future. With civil suits looming, the prospect of additional legal scrutiny could further complicate his life and career. 2. Rehabilitation and reinvention. Should Combs serve time, the period of incarceration may prompt a reflection on his actions and their consequences. Depending on how he chooses to engage with the public post-release, he may attempt to rehabilitate his image through philanthropic efforts or public advocacy related to the issues of consent and sexual abuse. 3. Influence on future cases. Combs' case may influence future legal strategies in similar cases, particularly concerning the burden of proof for coercion in sexual misconduct allegations. Legal professionals and advocates might seek to use the lessons learned from this case to better support victims in their pursuit of justice. 4. Long-term impact on the entertainment industry. The repercussions of Combs' trial and conviction may lead to a broader reckoning within the entertainment industry. Increased scrutiny on the behaviors of powerful figures and the establishment of stricter policies regarding sexual misconduct could emerge as key themes in the near future. In summary, Sean Diddy Combs' legal challenges present a multifaceted scenario with implications that extend beyond his personal circumstances. The outcomes of his sentencing and any subsequent appeals will not only shape his future but also influence societal conversations surrounding accountability, victim rights, and the ongoing evolution of the MeToo movement.